If you can't see that, you'll never be free of this prison.
It is you who is imprisoned. Freedom is all you ever live for.
己の務めを果たす覚悟はできておるか。
覚悟はできておりまする。
Maybe it's just me jumping ahead of things here, but I really do think Shōgun could be the next Game of Thrones, quote unquote. It's so immersive, even just one episode in. I see it take style over substance to an extent. It chooses to be not the most unique idea in the world. There have been shows that discuss samurai periods, and there have been shows that discuss Christianity and conflicts in Japan in the past. But I find that Shōgun doesn't really care about that. It cares about doing it the way it wants to do it, in a unique, interesting way that chooses artistic expression over popcorn flicky sort of stereotypes, I guess is the best way to say it. That's rare in today's TV show market. It has stunning set pieces, incredible performances, and an amazing story jumping off point, especially for people who I would say maybe aren't traditionally interested in samurai media. It reminds me of something like The Last Samurai, if it was a little less, I don't know, hopeful in a strange way, and more gritty like Game of Thrones. Again, a ton of people are comparing it to Game of Thrones, and I think that is an apt comparison, but it's not exactly the same. I really think it feels more like a, how would I say it? It might be more comparable to the tragic nature and grit of something like a Peaky Blinders, probably is a good way to say it. It has a unique and interesting flair, but embraces its time period and location fully, without any remorse for being just as accurate as it can be, while also being completely and totally entertaining. I am really excited to see where Shōgun goes. I haven't read the books, even though I know people say that they're really incredible, so if you're a book reader and you want to know what's going to happen, definitely go check that out. But I'm really excited to see a series like this getting love, because I think it's about time more TV shows were willing to be artistic like Shōgun is. I think it's really interesting that this series has come at a time when we're kind of in a TV show drought, and come at a time too when some of the best series I've seen recently have been samurai media. Blue Eye Samurai last year was easily my favorite TV series, and I'm really excited to see more samurai media. It's something I enjoy, and I think it's something that a lot of people would enjoy if they check it out. So I definitely recommend checking out the first episode of Shōgun. I know I haven't gotten into details of the plot, so let me at least kind of get into a little bit about how I feel about that. I'm going to talk vaguely because I think it's cool to check it out on your own, but basically a emperor dies, there are 5 loyal houses that are trying to fight for control, and things are getting tense between some of the houses. And at the same time, English travelers are arriving on Japan because they had heard that the Portuguese were trading exclusively with them and wanted to find their secret new nation they had been hiding. Now, the English are clashing with the Japanese, trying to figure out how to get out of there, how to just convince their traders, and survive, frankly, when the place seems very, how would I say it, against their showing up. That's probably the best way to say it in a broad sense. Shōgun tackles very, I would say, almost controversial ideas, especially considering today's times being very tense and not willing to be open to discussing things like historical differences, brutality, religion, things that usually feel like, violin strings ready to snap. I think it's great that it embraces that and isn't afraid to be itself. I definitely think Shōgun could be one of the best series this year, and I look forward to seeing more episodes in the future. If you've seen Shōgun, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. I'm utterly excited to see what everybody thinks about the series, because I love it, and I've seen it get great reviews, but I want to know what the average person thinks. Critics like myself, I guess, if I could even really call myself that, or, people on Rotten Tomatoes, tend to see things differently than an audience, so I would love to know what the average YouTube viewer who happens to find my video feels about the series. Thank you so much for listening. Hope I was coherent enough to discuss the show, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace and love, everybody, and take care. Bye!